Hi, it's Katrina. From getting stabbed by spines to invisible venomous tentacles that might just brush up against you, here are 10 of the most dangerous ocean creatures you have to watch out for. Number 10. Portuguese man-o-war. While this is often considered a jellyfish, the Portuguese man-o-war is actually not an it, but a they. It is made up of a colony of organisms called polyps that work together known as a siphonophore. Its tentacles can extend out to 165 feet, and they are very venomous, so you better not get anywhere near it. Also known as the floating terror, their body is between 5 inches to a foot wide. They are usually found in groups of about 1,000 or more and have no independent means of movement. They either drift on the currents or catch the wind, so even though you should be super careful of jellyfish or siphonophores, they aren't ever out to get you on purpose. Their bag-like polyp acts like a giant gas bladder that sits on top of the colony, but it kind of looks exactly like a plastic Ziploc bag, so be careful if you want to pick it up with your hand. The tentacles on a man-o-war are extremely venomous and very painful if you get stung. Their venom is used to paralyze their prey ASAP, so they don't damage their tentacles as they struggle to get away. If you get stung, you can expect red welts on the skin, muscle cramps, elevated heart rate, and vomiting. On February 11, 2018, 204 people in Hollywood, Florida were treated for stings. A man-o-war does not need to be alive in order to give off a powerful sting. Even if it has washed up on shore and looks dead, it can still sting you. Even a severed tentacle can sting you. The Portuguese man-o-war floats around the Atlantic Ocean as well as the Indian and the Pacific, so keep an eye out if you are swimming around these areas. Number 9. Stonefish. There are 5 species of stonefish which are found throughout coastal regions of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, including northern Australia. This slow-swimming fish grows between 11.8 and 15.7 inches long and may not seem very dangerous, but the stonefish is the world's most venomous fish and is equipped with 13 venom-filled spines. It's very hard to see as it has excellent camouflaging abilities and blends in well with surrounding coral, rocks, and aquatic plants. Stonefish typically reserve their venom for defense against predators and do not go out of their way to attack humans. They also only release venom when pressure is applied to their spines, which means a human is only likely to get stung if they accidentally step on one. Then you'll get a huge jolt of neurotoxins right into your foot. Most people survive stonefish stings as long as they seek emergency treatment immediately. Stings are indescribably painful and can cause heart failure and death if left untreated. Applying hot water to the sting site provides temporary relief, but it is not a life-saving measure. Luckily, there is an anti-venom as long as you get it in time. Number 8. Sea snakes. There are numerous species of sea snakes, and they vary in how aggressive and venomous they are. These marine snakes live in the ocean for most of their lives, but are more aggressive while they are on land. They have a paddle-like tail and need to come up to the surface to breathe air. While the species can be extremely venomous, it is hard to say which one would be the most dangerous. Sometimes the Du Bois sea snake is called the world's most venomous sea snake, and other times it is the Belcher sea snake. While just one drop of venom is rumored to kill up to 1,800 people, it is extremely hard to say since no official tests on humans have been conducted. When sea snakes bite, it is usually only for defense, as they are usually shy and don't want to get into trouble. Just don't try to grab it, and be careful if you find one stuck in a net or something and try to help it. You don't know how much venom it might release in one bite. On the other hand, the beaked or hook-nosed sea snake is responsible for around 90% of sea snake bites. But while it's more aggressive than the Du Bois snake, it's far less venomous. It dwells off of the coast of India and its coastal islands and around northern Australia. Keep in mind that the deadliest snakes aren't always the most venomous. Sea snake bites are treated with anti-venom, which is typically administered by emergency personnel. And now for number 7. But first, I wanted to say a quick thank you to Shaylee Welsh, who says you're the best YouTuber and keep making videos to keep the world happy. And Vince Ruiz, who says my son loves your videos and to keep it up. You guys make my day. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe and help us get to 3 million subscribers. Number 7. Box jellyfish. There are over 50 species of box jellyfish which vary in their levels of toxicity. The sea wasp is the deadliest of them all. This highly venomous creature dwells in the coastal waters of northern Australia, New Guinea, Malaysia, the Philippines, and Vietnam. Between 1884 and 1996, it caused at least 63 known deaths. While the Irukandji jellyfish is perhaps the most venomous, the sea wasp poses a bigger threat to humans. The sea wasp can weigh as much as 4.5 pounds, and their tentacles measure up to 10 feet long. The tentacles are equipped with millions of explosive cells called cnidocytes, which act like microscopic darts, releasing extremely powerful venom upon contact. Just one sea wasp reportedly contains enough venom to kill 60 people. A sting from what's known as the most lethal jellyfish in the world can cause excruciating pain, like a burning sensation, vomiting, headaches, chills, difficulty breathing, muscle spasms, and can even send the victim into cardiac arrest. Without treatment, a person may die in as little as 2 to 5 minutes. The shock to the body is so great that people have drowned or die of heart failure before ever reaching the shore. Survivors have experienced pain for weeks afterwards and have significant scarring where the tentacles touch their skin. To prevent stings, many beaches have installed protective nets that help keep the jellyfish from getting too close to people in the water. Stings still happen though, and it's hard to know when a sea wasp is nearby because they are large but pale blue and practically translucent. Number 6. The lionfish. The carnivorous lionfish is native to the Indian and South Pacific Oceans, but can thrive in any warm or tropical ocean waters. It has an invasive presence in the Atlantic, especially in the Caribbean and off the southeastern U.S. coast, since people with aquariums got tired of them and decided to dump their former pet into the ocean. Since they are so strong and powerful, the native fish don't stand a chance. The lionfish has no known predators and not only threatens wildlife, especially in non-native regions that it inhabits, but is dangerous to humans as well. Its venom contains an extremely potent neurotoxin that can cause debilitating pain, sweating, shortness of breath, weakness, fainting, and even cardiac arrest and paralysis. Luckily, most people do not die from lionfish stings, and the pain wears off within 12 hours for most victims, although the severity of the pain depends on how many of the fish's 18 spines stung the person and how deeply. Experts highly recommend immediately seeking emergency care for a sting. While many people choose to go without, medical professionals can ensure that there are no broken pieces of spine left in the wound, provide pain relief, and treat other symptoms before they worsen or lead to permanent consequences, especially for those who experience allergic reactions to the venom, which can lead to anaphylactic shock. Here's a surprising fact for you. Lionfish have long been a delicacy in parts of Asia, and in 2012, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration began a campaign in the U.S. to combat invasive lionfish populations by serving them up for dinner. Not surprisingly, the campaign was met with backlash over widespread concern about the possibility of unintentionally ingesting the fish's venom. What do you think? Would you try lionfish for dinner? Let me know in the comments. Number 5. Great white shark. While great white sharks are very feared, do they really live up to their fearsome reputation? Last year in 2019, there were 41 cases of unprovoked shark attacks in the United States, which has gone up from the 32 cases reported in the U.S. in 2018. However, while unprovoked attacks increased in the United States, they seem to have dropped worldwide. Great white sharks are found throughout the world's oceans in cool coastal waters, but are more prevalent in certain places, including off the coasts of California, Hawaii, Mexico's Baja California Peninsula, and South Africa and Australia, just to name a few. The great white is the world's largest predatory fish. It's also the most dangerous and damaging to humans of all the sharks, having attacked and killed more people than any other species. There are over 100 shark attacks on humans annually, and somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of them are caused by great whites. Most of these attacks are non-fatal and are examples of curious great whites taking sample bites from humans, according to researchers. The problem is a sample bite or a test bite is so large that after that, we're toast. While this does not make the possibility of an attack seem less terrifying, it indicates that great whites aren't particularly attracted to humans as a food source. They just have 300 serrated teeth and have an exceptional sense of smell, so they have a huge advantage over us in the water. Their main prey includes sea lions, seals, small whales, and all kinds of carrion. If you think about it, when you look up from below and see a surfer on a surfboard, what do they look like? A seal, that's what. Other dangerous sharks are the bull shark and the tiger shark. Many people blame great whites for most attacks, but bull sharks live in coastal waters as well and are much more aggressive and territorial. The problem is it's hard to tell what kind of shark is attacking you in the heat of the moment. The use of deterrents that are not harmful to sharks is one way of preventing attacks. For example, Newport Beach, California is equipped with a shark detection buoy system that has effectively reduced the odds of a human being attacked by a shark to 1 in 400 million. But anyone who frequently enters the ocean is inevitably risking an attack by a shark. Staying out of the water at sharks' meal times, dawn and dusk, and staying away from river mouths and deep channels are just some of the ways people can avoid attacks. And if you see a shark, perhaps the best idea is to get out of the water and leave it alone. Number 4. The cone snail. There are 500 known cone snail species, and the geographic cone snail is the most venomous of all. It is native to the reefs of the Indo-Pacific region. The geographic cone snail has extraordinarily potent venom, which is made of hundreds of toxins and is capable of causing instant paralysis. Just one cone snail's venom is estimated to be able to kill 700 humans. The venom varies from one species to another, but is typically very complex, with over 100,000 different bioactive compounds. These snails attack with mini harpoons, so it is usually divers who suffer the consequences as they try to take these innocent-looking snails as souvenirs. At least 30 confirmed fatalities have resulted from geographic cone snail stings. There is no antivenom. The main treatment for victims is simply to keep them alive until the toxins wear off. Great. Despite its deadliness, the geographic cone snail's venom contains proteins that act as painkillers and are up to 10,000 times as effective as morphine, but without the potential for addiction. Its use is still in the research stage, but has certainly attracted the medical community's attention as a potentially effective and much safer drug than highly addictive opiates and opioids that are currently used in treating patients for pain. Number 3. The stingray. There are many species of stingrays which are found in equally numerous places. They're present in most tropical to temperate ocean waters off the coast of Australia, Africa, California, Hawaii, and more. Anyone who remembers the crocodile hunter Steve Irwin probably recalls that he met his untimely end when a stingray attacked him off the coast of Queensland, Australia. The tragic event should be enough for anyone to realize that stingrays can be incredibly dangerous to humans. Stings usually occur to the feet or legs and are extremely painful, but are typically non-fatal. Other symptoms may include bleeding, swelling of the wound and/or lymph nodes, nausea, vomiting, fever, chills, muscle cramps, seizures, paralysis, fainting, elevated heart rate, decreased blood pressure, and in some cases, even death. Barbs from the animal's tail must sometimes be surgically removed from the skin. Experts recommend immediate medical attention in any case, which is understandable given the possible symptoms, don't you think? Number 2. Flower sea urchin. There are countless species of sea urchins, therefore coming into contact with one comes with varying degrees of risks. Don't let their pretty exterior fool you. The flowers are just little jaws waiting to inject venom. This ferocious flower was named the most dangerous sea urchin in the 2014 Guinness Book of World Records. A sea urchin's spines are made of calcium carbonate and can easily puncture divers and swimmers' boots, wetsuits, and skin. People are typically injured by accidentally encountering one while swimming or wading in shallow waters. While a sting may feel unpleasant, in most cases a sting is inconvenient and uncomfortable, but relatively harmless. Symptoms typically include pain and swelling, and like with most stings from sea creatures, an infection may ensue. Spines are fragile and often break inside the wound, sometimes requiring surgical extraction. However, the flower sea urchin is the most venomous of all. It has tiny flower-like jaws called pedicellariae, which contain a potentially lethal toxin that causes pain similar to that of a jellyfish sting. Other possible symptoms include difficulty breathing, weakness, slurred speech, and numbness in the lips, tongue, and eyelids. As common sense dictates, people in these situations often seek medical treatment. After all, better safe than sorry, right? Number 1. Blue-ringed octopus. The blue-ringed octopus includes 4 small species of octopus that reside in tide pools and coral reefs of the Indian and Pacific Oceans, from Japan to Australia. They are very pretty, but don't be fooled. Those flashing blue rings are a warning to you. Like many other venomous marine creatures, the blue-ringed octopus has a relatively docile nature and typically only attacks when provoked. The problem is that since they like to hide in tidal pools, it is possible you could accidentally step on one. Since they are small, they are not really out to attack, but if they are cornered, they will respond by biting with their beak. It's important for a human to seek treatment immediately after being bitten by a blue-ringed octopus, as death can occur within minutes, but sometimes you might not even feel the bite. The octopus's venom contains a neurotoxin called tetrodotoxin, which is 1,200 times more toxic than cyanide. Tetrodotoxin causes severe and often total paralysis for up to 24 hours, and within minutes, respiratory failure can set in. Nausea and blindness are also major bite symptoms. Complete recovery is likely if a victim survives the first 24 hours after being bitten, but there is no known antidote. The survival of a bite victim usually depends primarily on the administering of artificial respiration or breathing assistance to keep the person alive until the effects of the venom have worn off and the person is once again able to breathe on their own. Pretty scary, huh? Another creature that has been compared to the blue-ringed octopus is the flamboyant cuttlefish. So yeah, stay away from that too. Thanks for watching! Which ocean creature is your favorite? What other dangerous creatures would you like to learn about? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe so we can get to 3 million subscribers! See you later! Bye!